Oh, good day. I'm Alex Chata.
I'm Bill Magbanwa.
I'm Lawrence George.
I'm Ralph Mauro.
I'm Giancarlo Evangelista.
And we are the Earthbenders. This is Landslide Risk Reduction Framework. This is Peter. Peter is an ordinary house husband in South Cotabato in Central Mindanao. He travels from one place to another, crossing the high elevation of the mountain ranges in his area. Most of the time, Peter experiences landslides and this affects his way of life. Peter is one of the people in the Philippines to experience landslide in a horrendous way imaginable and suffer from its devastation. Landslides are commonly defined as downslope movements of soil, sediment, and rock. They take many forms and common everywhere around the world, but there are certain areas in which these kinds of events occur more frequently.
High risk. Philippines in a high risk according to the Mines and Geosciences of Bureau. Up to 80% of the country's total land area is landslide prone, making the country the fourth most exposed to landslide risk after Indonesia, India, and China. The place where Peter lives is in level 4 list 4 level risk class region, which is region 12, along with Cordillera Administrative Region. Region 12 has the highest risk class level, while National Capital Region has the lowest.
Deforestation represents one of the largest issues in global land use. Throughout history and into modern times, forests have been raised to make space for agriculture and animal grazing, and to obtain wood for fuel, manufacturing, and constructing. This figure shows the rate of deforested areas in the Philippines. Region 8 and Region 4B is the most heavily deforested region in the Philippines, while National Capital Region, Region 7, Region 5, Region 3, Region 1 is the least deforested in the Philippines.
Elevation. Talnex. The figure shows the average elevation of each region. The Cordillera Administrative Region had the greatest elevation, while the region of National Capital had the lowest.
Coefficient is the statistic that measures the statistical relationship or association between two continuous variables. Next. Here is the correlation matrix of landslide risk, 1.0 being the highest value and 0.2 being the lowest. To give further explanation about the correlation value, deforestation rate has a coefficient correlation of 0.5, having moderate level of correlation. Then elevation level rate coefficient is 0.7, having the high level of correlation. Next. The figure shows that the relationship between landslide risk class and deforestation rate as landslide risk class and deforestation rate having the rate of coefficient correlation is 0.5. As shown in the visualization, there is a moderate relationship between these two factors. This suggests that the deforestation is a major contributor to a landslide. Next. The scatter plot illustrates the relationship between elevation level and landslide risk class. This positive correlation between landslide risk class, and elevation level rate coefficient, which is 0.7. Because the calculated correlation coefficient is between 0.7 to 0.9, this indicates that these two variables has a strong relationship. This indicates that when the elevation is high, the chance of a landslide are equally high. Next.
Landslide risk increases as elevation and deforestation rate increase. To reduce landslide risk and to give Peter and other people who share the same experience a relief, we devised a landslide risk mitigation framework. The framework spans from mitigation of deforestation to landslide preventive measures in high elevated areas that are prone to landslides like where Peter lives. The framework focuses and spans from mitigation of deforestation to landslide preventive measures in high elevated areas that are prone to landslide like where Peter lives. The framework uses native vegetation of risk areas to improve stability. Trees, shrubs, grasses, flower, and ground covers help stabilize slopes in numerous ways. Vegetation actively recompacts soil through the expansion of the root system and the addition of organic matter to the site. Water absorbs more readily into uncompacted soil. The vegetation also encourages soil fauna to thrive. The cumulative impacts of this fauna result in the healthier soil that is more resilient against landslide events. By using this framework, native trees are planted in the slopes of the areas that Peter travels through. By doing this framework, we adhere to the Sustainable Development Goals number 11.5 uh, that states reduce the adverse effects of natural disasters. SDG number 13, which states take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. And SDG number 15, life on land. By doing this, we provide Peter. By doing this, we provide Peter a low landslide risk future. We are Earthbenders. Thank you.